Hello. This is Antya from Byte Shuffle. Thank you for always watching my videos. This time, I've put together a guide on how to play against the Doomsday combo, along with my thoughts on sideboarding strategies. Here is the deck list we will be using this time. I'll mulligan since I have a land-heavy hand. I'll send Chrome Mox to the bottom. I'll search for a land. I couldn't find it, so I'll shuffle. My opponent didn't shuffle after casting Ponder and decided to draw. I'll search for Infernal Tutor. I stacked 2 Lotus Petals. I'll start by playing Vexing Bauble to lock things down. I often forget that I have Vexing Bauble on the field and end up casting my own mana artifacts too. I'll search for Infernal Tutor. I stacked Cabal Ritual, followed by Dark Ritual. My opponent is playing Doomsday, so there's no time to waste. I have too much disruption in hand, so I'll convert Vexing Bauble into a draw. I'll gauge the situation with my opponent. I took out Doomsday. Nice top deck. I only have 1 turn left. By checking whether my opponent's lands are UB plus any additional colors, I can better predict which cards might be in their sideboard. I'm going all in. From here, I'll generate more mana needed for the combo. Before sideboarding, I'd like to review the list we used. First, the conclusion. I will explain it step by step. First, let's review the effect of Doomsday. Doomsday allows you to choose 5 cards from your library and graveyard, exile the rest, and form a new deck with the selected 5 cards. This 5-card deck is referred to as the pile. So, how do you win? In its current form, the goal is to use Thassa's Oracle and aim for an alternate win condition. Previously, the win condition involved using Fetchlands and Tendrils of Agony. Doomsday, Fetchland, and Tendrils of Agony used to form a combo often abbreviated as DDFT, Doomsday Fetchland Tendrils. The current DDFT often includes cards like Psychic Frog and Tameo, Inquisitive Student. Using Frog for the F and Tameo for the T, calling it DDFT might be more accurate now. The deck strategy starts with casting Dark Ritual to generate 3 black mana. Then, your opponent casts Doomsday. At that point, your opponent create their pile. To win on the same turn Doomsday is cast, your opponent will need a card to draw the first piece of the pile and 2 blue mana for Thassa's Oracle. Specifically, your opponent will want to have Ponder or Brainstorm cast, allowing your opponent to draw into the pile. Then use Lotus Petal or Lion's Eye Diamond to generate the blue mana needed. Cycle through the cards in the pile in order, and win with Thassa's Oracle. To pull off the combo on the same turn that Doomsday is cast, it comes with strict conditions. If you're able to set up the combo over multiple turns, the difficulty of executing it drops significantly. From an ANT perspective, the most important thing to avoid losing is to prevent Doomsday from being cast in the first place. I'll introduce a small trick. Let's say your opponent plays Underground Sea, casts Dark Ritual into Doomsday on turn 1, and passes the turn back to you. Since your opponent needs to secure 2 blue mana to win, by casting Boseiju, who endures targeting your opponent's Underground Sea, you might miraculously disrupt their plan and secure a win. Keeping this in mind might come in handy on rare occasions. That was a bit of a tangent, but let's get back on track. These are the cards in the DDFT deck that are relevant to ad nauseam tendrils. First, there are various counterspells like Force of Will, Force of Negation, Daze, Consign to Memory, and Flusterstorm. In response to these, I'll add Hand Disruption. Next, there are hand disruption spells like Duress and Thoughtseize. My opponent will combine counterspells and hand disruption to interfere with my strategy in a multifaceted way. In response to that, I'll counter their strategy with these cards. As for Vexing Bauble, It can help disrupt not only my opponent's pitch spells, but it can also hinder their 0-mana artifacts. Next, there are graveyard hate cards like Surgical Extraction, Unlicensed Hearse, and Grafdigger's Cage. I'll reduce the number of Cabal rituals, as they are more vulnerable to my opponent's graveyard hate cards. On rare occasions, the opponent may run Opposition Agent. It can also be used against cards like Grafdigger's Cage, Unlicensed Hearse, Psychic Frog, Tamiyo, Inquisitive Student, and others. That's why I included Abrupt Decay just to be safe. To balance the deck, I removed Chrome Mox and Volcanic Island, since the current list already includes the blue-red Surveil land. Abrupt Decay isn't essential, so this approach should work as well. The hand is a bit weak, but since I have draw sources, lands, and disruption, I'll keep it. I should have fetched a dual land in this situation. I'll start by playing Vexing Bauble to lock things down. I'll search for a land. I couldn't find it, so I'll shuffle. I'll gauge the situation with my opponent. I took out Doomsday. I'll search for mana acceleration. I stacked Past in Flames followed by Swamp. Since there's no time to waste, I'll use Hand Disruption to discard Doomsday. The effect of Surveil sends the card to the graveyard. The effect of Surveil keeps the card on top of the library. I'll search for mana acceleration. I'll stack Beseech the Mirror, Dark Ritual, and Lotus Petal in that order and then draw. If Burning Wish resolves, I'll go for the combo on the next turn. I'm going all in. From here, I'll generate more mana needed for the combo. Thank you for watching up to this point. I apologize for the frequent play mistakes. I hope to improve at MTG together with everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel and giving it a thumbs up. See you in the next one. This has been ANT-ya.